So I have this package from Berlin, Germany. I wonder who it's from. 2-in-1 tripod, Insta360 link, the AI-powered 4K webcam. So we have 4K video, AI tracking, rapid focus, whiteboard recognition, gesture control, noise cancelling mics, we're not going to be using that, and privacy mode, whatever that means. At the back, it tells you exactly what to expect from inside the box. All right, let's see what's inside. Let's start by taking out the mini tripod. We have some 3M tape in that thing that fell. And here we have the tripod, multiple parts. And then that's going to be the head. We have the GoPro style mount. And we have 2 fasteners, I believe. A little quick start guide in the back. And looks like I was right. Those were fasteners. So let's put that aside for now. And let's open up the actual case for the webcam. It opens like that. There it is. We have a QR code here. And it says Insta360 link controller, then video tutorials and quick start guide. This is some sort of foam pad. That's pretty cool, protects the camera. And we can probably pull this out. Nice. And while we're at it, let's pull out the camera. There is quite a bit of protective film up in the front, around here, that red thing, also protective film all around here and also on the side. Let's go ahead and take them off. And we have some caution here. The camera may get hot after extended use. Up front, it says double tap to recenter the lens. Now let's go ahead and take this off. Whoa, this wasn't sticky at all. Actually, it's pretty slippery. And now we have the camera, USB-C port in the back, 1/4-inch thread at the bottom, so universal, put on a tripod and stuff, which might be something I want to do. It says 4K f1.8, which I actually didn't know. f1.8 is really good for low light situation. But then again, the sensor seems to be tiny. So we'll see. I want to open up that 3M bag. Okay, so the 3M thing is supposed to be gaskets, basically, that go around the mini pod, because apparently some accessories might be a little loose, and that's one way of securing them a little bit better. So we're not going to be using this since we don't have any third-party accessories, but we will be taking this off and putting it together. Okay, so here's the mini 2-in-1 tripod. The bottom we can see, if I do this, there we go. That's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be using this for other stuff that I have. This thing in the middle feels like it should be able to extend. All you have to do is pull. There we go. So on top of having this default height, all right, so if you want to extend this and kind of use like a monopod, you can do this, right? And it only goes up and down when it's in this configuration, apparently. I could be wrong, but then you can turn it into your normal tripod. Set it down. There you go. Okay, now we have our 1/4-inch screw that can go on the camera. You can fasten it like this. And the bottom you can see is the type of GoPro mount. And it goes just like this. Nice. And we'll use one of the fasteners that we had here. Apparently we have 2 of them and they're secured by a little bit of rubber. I can totally see myself losing one of those. Look at the head of this. Impressive mechanism. So when you're inserting this, you actually have to twist it a little bit because of the shape. It's not like round. It's funny because it's like, it feels like some sort of a key. There we go. And we're going to turn it a little bit until it goes all the way in. There it is. Okay, now that it's all in, apparently we're supposed to turn it 90 degrees and then press down to secure it. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Super tight. Very impressive, like kind of complex mechanism. I will have to get used to it. I don't see myself dismantling this part often per se. Probably just keep it like that. And if I'm traveling, you know, which I am in like 2 days. But that's pretty cool. You would fasten it to the camera like that. I like to put this thing all the way down and then I can place the camera on it. It's funny because it's very vloggy. It's such a vlog type of setup. Also, something that I did not demonstrate is that you can see the bottom part here has a swivel. That's what's gonna go like on your screen. You know what? While I'm here, let me get that thumbnail shot. All right, let's play it back. Nice. So our camera is set up on the tripod. We're gonna open up the box to see the cables. Nice. Okay, little pack with our cables, and then we'll have quick start guide, manual, and more stuff. We have the USB-C to USB normal like adapter. And then we're going to have the markers. So those are supposed to be the things that are on your whiteboard. You place them at 2 corners of your whiteboard and it will know basically where your whiteboard is. This could be very useful because I do VR stuff. And if I can place this on my VR headset and have it track my VR headset, this is an amazing solution for me. The cables should be one cable. It's a pretty long cable from what I'm seeing right now, which is always great. I always require at least 1.5 meters. This seems to be 1.5 meters. Wow, okay. That was a weird coincidence. That would be 1 meter, and then you add a half. Yeah, so it's USB-C to USB-C. So we're gonna use the adapter or just another adapter that I have conveniently placed right there. And we're gonna see if it still works. Okay, so we plugged it in with not the included adapter. And it lights up blue. And it does a little dance. Super cute. It's looking down, it's shy right now. All right, so here's the website, and apparently that's the latest one right there. Let's just click download. Downloads in an instant. Let's pick English, accept the agreements, and then launch. There it is. Okay, immediately bombarded with a bunch of, are you willing to help us improve? Not right now. So it's teaching us how to use the software, which is pretty cool. Turn on auto tracking. The camera will automatically follow the subject. Okay, so tracking is here. This is whiteboard mode. The camera will respond to markers displayed on a whiteboard. I don't know exactly much about this, but we'll figure it out. Overhead mode for capturing perfectly, level top down with overhead stand. Oh, that sounds really useful actually. Turn on or off desk view mode. Oh, so you can have it film your desk while on your monitor. It's cool that they even like thought about all that. Gesture controls. So I'm guessing that's how you turn it on or off. There you go. And you get feedback from the colors on the webcam itself. All right, what about the L? Loser. Okay, it's a weird, kind of a weird animation there to do a V or a peace sign for the whiteboard. So I'm guessing it goes to find the whiteboard in that case. Oh, and then it actually skews the image in order to make it appear flat. That's pretty good. And it says be careful not to cover your face with your hand. All right, that's pretty nice. So L to zoom, V or peace to whiteboard, palm to activate auto tracking. When using Link with other software, please turn off the preview. Okay, that's kind of standard for cameras, but you can drag the preview around to control the gimbal, and you can use your zoom with your scroll mouse. The quality so far, because that's what I'm concerned about. This is all great, but what is the quality? And right now, the quality is pretty impressively sharp. The color management is pretty nice, even though we're blowing out around here, but this is pretty bright though. It's not that bright in real life though. And then zoom like that. So by just hovering here in the middle, you have access to all those options. It's weird because it's trying to track my face. Okay, I was like, why is it moving a little bit? Image settings. What do we have when it comes to the options? Let me full screen this. Nope. Is it looking for me? I'm flattered. Okay, so that's the distance. It's arm's length, right? Field of view is kind of narrow, not gonna lie. That's kind of cool. I have to admit that's kind of cool. This is crisp. Like you can see, this is really crisp, and I'm at 1080p right now, as you can see bottom left. Quite impressive. What if I go 4K? Okay, yeah. Feel that. We can see a little bit of noise at the dark areas, not bad, but I haven't touched anything, and this is what I get. I'm guessing like my skin is there's a hint of green in it, and I'm guessing it's because of the blue, and it's trying to compensate. It doesn't really know what the white balance is, so we might have auto white balance. Yes, we do. I see it now. So we might be able to play around with this, but so far with this light, it's impressive that it does that. So auto exposure, let's turn that off, and then there's an exposure curve. Oh, that's pretty cool. So ISO, it's usually the sensitivity of the sensor. We want that to be as low as possible given the light that we have. This is basically going to generate a lot of noise otherwise. Of course, it has to do with the exposure, but if it's super high, that means that you don't have enough light, and of course it's going to generate a lot of noise. You want that to be super low, and if you can't get it low, usually 200 to 400 is where I keep it. Shutter speed, you usually want that to be double your FPS. So if you're shooting 24 frames per second, usually you have your shutter speed around 50, 1/50, right? It basically controls the motion blur, right? You see there's a little bit of motion. Oh, the camera Okay, the camera thought I was talking to it by doing this. So there's a little bit of motion here, but if I go higher, I'm gonna lose exposure. It also controls the exposure. And if I go 120, which would be great for 60 FPS, but you know, it doesn't matter that much. Now we have less motion blur. And let me really demonstrate this point. 1/400, which is impressive for a webcam to be able to do, but let's push it. You see the ISO and the noise I was talking about? Now look at the motion blur. There's almost none. It's like super jittery, right? You would see this in action scenes, and they film it like that because they want to have slow motions. If there's a lot of motion blur, they can't turn a shot into slow motion. But it's impressive how this is handling it actually. So let me go back, ISO, let's give it around 500 just so I can still have my shutter speed be in between 50 and 120. Not too bad. Okay, cool. Exposure curve here. Technically, we should be able to control kind of the contrast, meaning bottom part should be the darker parts and then top part should be all the highlights, right? So if I place a point here, I should be controlling my darks. Yes. And up here, I can do this. And it's one way of controlling contrast in a way, right? Without burning the darkest points and the highest points either, right? So if I bump this, technically, I'm just gonna get, the whole image is gonna kind of fake exposure going up, but you have to watch out because you can burn your image, right? This is what we would call a burnt image. I used to do photography, I used to do photo retouching, but in this case, I have pretty good lighting. I'm not too mad about it. I would probably bump up the highlights a little bit by doing this. It's all right. And there we go. Auto white balance, let's turn that off. And let's reach a pretty decent. I like mine to be a little cold. It all depends on you, but as you can see, my skin looks a little bit better now that there's not so much green compensation in it. Not gonna lie, this looks awesome so far. Brightness, contrast, I don't have to touch this because again, my lighting is pretty decent, pretty good. Saturation, you might want to touch this. Right now, because of that light and how it's handling, I'm not gonna bump up the saturation. I usually give a little hint of saturation in like OBS or something, but not here. Sharpness, you can see the pores on my skin. I don't think you need to I don't think you need to bump up the sharpness at all. Again, you're watching this video in 1080p. The webcam, the preview is being displayed in 4K, but yeah, this is like 1080p footage technically, right? And on top of that, you can save this as a preset. That's pretty cool. So that means that next time I turn this on, I'm gonna have this exact same setting. That's kind of dope. I'm actually gonna probably gonna travel with this instead of the other cameras that I wanted to take. And there's something that says more settings, and this is where you get all the motion stuff, and that's pretty nice. Okay, so now we have tracking speed. So this is what it's like. There's slow. It doesn't seem slow, it just seems like it takes its time before it starts tracking. It doesn't feel like it's the speed, it's just the delay, if you will. And then there's fast. Okay, it is a little bit of the speed, not gonna lie. This is nice. Let me put it back to slow actually, I think I prefer. Link will start tracking when you manually adjust the gimbal towards someone. Okay, so if I take it and I put it towards someone, it's gonna be like, okay, I have to track this person. Single tap tracking, single tap link to start or stop tracking. So I tapped, it did blink. So now it's not tracking anymore. Tap once. There we go. AI zoom. Head. I wouldn't call this AI, but you can tell that we're losing the quality because it's a digital zoom. We're almost getting like a push pull or a dolly zoom. That's pretty nice. Okay, I like that. I like that. Just keep it on my head. Okay, let's turn that off for now. There's anti-flicker and then there's autofocus. So if I want to go, hey, look at this. There we go. Why is it dirty? Anyways, autofocus seems to be pretty nice. I need to test it a little bit more. Okay, they weren't kidding about it being fast. Wow. Is it? Is it trying to, it tried to track it. Okay. There's something called streamer mode. Enables portrait mode, 9:16, 50 is 60 FPS in streaming software. This mode is not recommended for use with video conference. I don't care. It only has to be activated in this software. It's funny because it hits itself while it's readjusting. It just goes wild, and then it's not noisy, but you can hear it hit itself. That's kind of funny. HDR does not support 4K nor 50 FPS or 60 FPS. So we go back to low FPS, but we have HDR. I don't see why you would use HDR unless you have like unless your lighting is really wild and you really want to like balance the highlights and shadows. But usually you don't want, like, it's wild that a webcam does HDR, but you can see that in my case, my lighting is not made for it. So we're actually getting a lot of grain, a lot of noise. It is monochrome noise apparently, but it doesn't seem to be something that's worth it. Mirror image. Doesn't give us the option to mirror it horizontally or vertically. It just horizontally. Well, on the horizontal line. Okay, that seems to be about it. We have the options here. It's funny because when you click here, it doesn't do the flickering. Now it does it. Okay, it's only with the gestures, I guess. Whiteboard, I do want to test this real quick. Oh, they give you 4. That's pretty nice. All right, let me click on whiteboard and see what happens. It's looking for it. I'm not wearing pants. Stop going down. Please ensure the whiteboard is within 3 meters. I mean, it's kind of working. It's kind of working. I would have to experiment a little bit more with it. All right, time to check out the overhead mode, and I'm gonna have to move it. So I'll be right back. Okay. When they said it was gonna get hot, wow, it's hot. This is like almost painful hot. This is, oh, I wish I had like some way of showing you just how hot it is. But this part in particular, right there, yeah, you don't want anything flimsy basically touching this. I can definitely see this causing damage maybe in long term. So I'm a little worried right now. That's very, very hot. Okay, so I have it on my monitor right now. There we go. Okay, track my face. So what we want to test is the top-down view. This is a mess right now, okay? I just opened this whole thing. Bear with me. Desk view mode. So it's gonna point diagonally, and then it's gonna... Let me hide my... I told you I'm not wearing pants. And it's flat. Okay, that's it. I'm convinced. I am convinced. This webcam is great. That's it. So it sits on your monitor, and we're seeing like as if it was like a top-down perfect flat view. I'm guessing it stretches it to fit the perspective, but it's seamless. It's great. I'm trying to find a way to demonstrate just how it would have to like skew the image, and the autofocus still works perfectly fine. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have artifacts this side because that's the furthest. I don't know if this is visible. I don't know if I'm demonstrating how it's shifting the perspective, but I'm moving straight. Also, like, my fingers look extra long. My fingers are long, but they're not that long. This is really cool. Oh my. Now, again, you don't have you don't have a wide field of view. Oh, I can still rotate while I'm in this mode by clicking and dragging. I don't have a wide field of view with this camera. I can really rotate. I'm speechless. All right, so what I can do is I can maybe set up the monitor mount to really make it look down. Not completely, but tilted a little bit at least. Actually, you know what? I have it tilted completely down. So right now, I just wanted to see. It doesn't change much. It's on the gimbal, so I can just get more up here. I can really go down all the way here so you can see the monitor. But right now it's really on my monitor and it's like hiding a little bit of my actual screen. Maybe not the greatest thing. Still super cool though. Can we see my mouse? There it is. That's the thing controlling all of this. See my movements? Okay, this is impressive. Yeah, I take back any doubts that I had about this camera because, well, I don't have any doubts anymore. I understand why people are saying that it is the best. I don't want to throw like hyperboles and I don't want to say anything extreme like this is the best, but this is the best webcam I've tested so far, especially when it comes to functionalities, because I've never seen a camera really think about the different uses that we might have that much. The gimbal, I thought it was just a gimmick and all it did was just track your face, but it's not that. It's not just that. It allows it to do way much more that people are really not talking about really, because I had no clue. So yes, I actually packed another webcam to go on vacation, but I'm gonna pack this one because this one is gonna be more practical in my opinion. Although other webcams will tend to have a wider field of view, so they might be more useful in that only sense. That's the only thing that I have about this webcam that I think is kind of negative, other than it's kind of concerningly, is that a word? It's concerning how hot it gets. Other than that, it's just the field of view is not great, so plan for some distance. Like right now, it's on my monitor and I'm not like, I am 1 arm's length away and this is what it looks like. All right, make sure I point, because if, you know, you don't want to be putting your arms like that with your palm. But arm's length, just like that. Yeah, my face is like completely filling the screen. I will be making maybe another video when it comes to the lighting and how to get like the best lighting out of it. But this is out of the box. This is already really good, and it's handling like my wild lighting, especially like the blue is, a lot of webcams just can't handle that much RGB light, and they kind of freak out and saturate and stuff, but this is handling it pretty well. Yeah, the quality is awesome. And this is the 1080p version. If I go 4K, you have even more pixels. I will probably be demonstrating the actual 4K. I will record a 4K video with it to really show the proper quality, because right now I can't. But yeah, that was the Insta360 Link. That's the name of the camera, right? It is pretty awesome. Seal of approval. I really thought it was a gimmick. It doesn't seem to be a gimmick. It seems to be an actual powerful and very useful and super versatile camera, right? It's not just made for conferences and business meeting and things like that. I can absolutely see content creators use it. It does preserve a little bit of sharpness, like on my skin. So the digital zoom is not bad. It doesn't allow you to zoom that far in either. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I am impressed. Wow. This is really cool. I'm always extra happy when I get gear sent to me and I'm like, I'm actually gonna use this. Oh my God, this is like really gonna help me in my day-to-day life as a content creator. Anyways, this was a long enough video. I will be making more. If you have any questions, you want me to test anything with this, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.